Hey team, today we are working on a few variations of standing hip CARs. If you find this information useful, please like, share, and subscribe. Thank you. Before we get started, some of the benefits of working hip CARs are to increase overall flexibility, mobility, and resilience at the tissues of the hip joint. We're looking to also improve our motor control and stability at the hip. And there can also be some pain relieving benefits from working CARs at the hip joint complex and surrounding areas. So as we get started, the first variation that I like to work with somebody who's just learning CARs is, again, this isn't always accessible to people, but hopefully it is. If you have something where you can kind of grab on and stay locked in towards it. So the reason why I say that is a lot of times when you see people do CARs, there's a lot of excess movement happening throughout the movement, and we're just looking to work the car. And so holding on to an object, so again, I'm holding on to my squat rack in my garage, making sure I keep contact throughout helps eliminate any sort of compensation or additional movement that I'm not looking to have as part of my hip car. So I'm going to hug in nice and tight. I'm going to stay nice and close to this. So again, the whole time as you're going through this at home or at the gym, you want to make sure that you're not coming off, that you stay on throughout the whole process. So I'm going to get a nice big hug. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to start lifting into flexion and external rotation at the same time. We're going to go through these slowly. A lot of times people go through kind of fast as well. We're going to do nice, slow, and controlled. That's the whole point, controlled articular rotations. So again, we're lifting into flexion and external rotation at the same time. Once I'm at my end point without compensating, I'm going to abduct at the hip as far as I comfortably can while keeping my hip square. So again, I'm not coming off. I abduct, internally rotate, push back into extension, and bring the legs together. As I reset, I go back around. I'm going to extend at the hip, abduct at the hip into internal rotation, externally rotate as I go back into flexion, and then return back to the starting position. As you get more comfortable, but maybe your balance is not great, you could use either a wall or a training stick. I'm going to use a training stick just so you can see me from the side. So I'm going to drive this stick down for added stability. I'm going to keep this other hand close into the body, just again, so I don't have any excess movement. Or you can keep it on your hip as well, so you can get some feedback of how the hip is moving through its different joint actions. So I'll actually go with my hand on my hip. So I'm going to drive this right stick down. I'm going to lift into external rotation and flexion. I'm going to slightly internally rotate as I begin my abduction. So as I abduct, I want to make sure, again, I'm not rotating or arching posterior pelvic, so anything, any movement at the spine. So I abduct as far as I comfortably can. Then I internally rotate back into hip extension, and then put the legs next to each other. And from here, I'm going to extend at the hip. So when I extend at the hip, I go as far as I can with the hips and the glutes without leaning forward or arching. So I extend at the hip. Once I can't go any further, I abduct into internal rotation, externally rotate back into flexion, and then returning to the starting position. And then the last would be without holding on to anything. Again, this involves a little bit more balance and stability, really taking your time. So for the first one, you can go with the hands out as a little bit of a counterbalance. So I lift in to flexion and external rotation. I externally rotate. I abduct at the hip, and then I internally rotate back into extension. And then I work my way back around. I extend at the hip. I just touch the stick. Don't mind me. So I extend, abduct, internally rotate into flexion, external rotation, back down, around. From the back, because we haven't seen that yet, I'll go with my hands on my hips. I'm going to lift into external rotation and flexion, abduct at the hip, internally rotate back into extension. Put the legs next to each other, and then from here, extend at the hip, abduct, internally rotate into flexion, into external rotation, and back down. Thanks again for tuning in. Hopefully you learned something. And again, if you find this information useful, please like, share, and subscribe. And I'll see you next time.